Retro.
Today's show is brought to you by our wonderful patrons over at patreon.com/Animanicast. Special thanks to Bemused Horseman, Christian, Ethan, Kyle, Leaf, McCoy, MJ, Nebby, Ketzel, Rapid Kirby, The Guaranteed Engine, The Cartoon Gamer, Weffy, Marjorie, Marty, Melissa, Patrick, and Brian. All these folks are not only supporting our podcast, but they're getting fantastic bonus audio, including Creators Commentary Series with Tom Ruger. That's right, we're going over every episode of Animaniacs, and as a special treat for the holidays, we actually decided to go ahead a little bit and do commentary tracks for episodes 49 and 50, and joining us is Lenord Robinson, who directed Little Drummer Warners. So head on over to patreon.com/Animanicast. For just a few dollars, you'll get access to Animaniacs commentaries, plus you can get additional cool stuff like Animaniacs decals and Animaniacs trading cards signed by Tom Ruger. Head on over to patreon.com/Animanicast, and we thank you for your support. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Animanicast.
Someone call the Coast Guard!
Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
And welcome everybody once again to the Animanicast. This, of course, is the podcast that's dedicated to the animated television series Animaniacs, as well as other shows in the Rugiverse, such as Tiny Toon Adventures, Pinky the Brain, and Freakazoid. But today, once again, we are at it, and we're talking about the reboot episodes of Animaniacs. Yes, this is Season 2, Episode 4, or some people say it's Episode 17, whatever you want to call it. I am Joey, and joining me once again is my brother Nathan.
Content is key.
And across the country in Georgia, it's Kelly.
Hey.
I almost said across the country in Kelly, it's Georgia, but that does not. Kelly is not a state.
No, not.
Kelly is a state of mind. Yeah.
Soon.
Crazy.
Well, yes, today we are talking about episode 4 of season 2 of the Animaniacs Reboot. This one features Ralph World, just a short little intro thing. My Super Sour Sweet 16. No, I keep trying to say Sweet 16, but it's not that. It's just My Super Sour Sweet. Don't do it again, Joey. My Super Sour 16.
Yay!
I really wanted to say that Sweet 16, but it's not in there because it's a joke. And then, of course, there's How To Brain Takes Over the World. And anyway, if someone were to ask you about this episode in just a few words, what would you tell them, Nathan?
Yakko sounds weird.
Yakko does sound weird. It's true. Kelly, what about you?
Be sure to hit the like button.
Oh yes, smash that subscribe
button.
If I got anything else from this, I got like a great audio drop from Pinky.
Oh yeah.
For this podcast, for smash the subscribe button.
Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. What?
So everybody do that on whatever device you're using. Even those weirdos that listen to our show on YouTube. Which I will never understand why people listen to
especially
a podcast.
Don't call them weirdos.
Oh,
they know who they are.
They know who they are, the weirdos. You're all weirdos.
Sam the Eagle.
Yes, we're all weirdos here. That's okay. Well, at any rate, let's go ahead and get into our discussion, I suppose. But before we do, we got to ask Nathan. Nathan, when did this episode first premiere?
Oh, Joey, you should know this. November 5th.
Sort of.
2021.
Sort of.
I guess November 4th, 2021. I don't know. I'm going to say the 5th because I didn't find facts for the
November 4th. I was curious to see if Nathan was going to give us November 4th facts or November 5th facts. Yes, Nathan, I guess since we're calling it our November 5th official premiere, even though it was shown, on November 4th, 2021 on Twitter. But that wasn't like worldwide. So we're going, or I guess it wasn't worldwide for Hulu either. Whatever. We're going for November 5th. So Nathan,
it was only temporary anyway. So yeah,
that's true. Go ahead and give us our November 5th facts theme song.
The November Facts theme song. It's good to hear the November Facts theme song. And I forget how to talk because it's November 5th Facts theme song.
Yay. So what happened?
Oh.
Sorry.
I was like, how I forgot to talk? Or
yeah, exactly.
No, what happened on this day? Here's some facts. So, there's a lot of like artists and singers and things like that. And I thought I'd do some things like that. So in 1941, Art Garfunkel was born. So we got a birthday, which is a theme of this episode. We got an artist who's a musician. There we go. We got Bryan Adams, who's also a singer. He was born in 1959, and he sang the song Summer of 69. So he was only 10 when he's talking in that song. You know that song, right? It's weird.
He also sang Everything I Do It For You.
Yeah. But why is he singing about when he's 10, that Summer of 69? Yeah, that's weird. Kevin Jonas was born of the Jonas Brothers in 1987. And then 2002, I had picked a TikToker, Paige McKenzie. She was born. So she was a popular TikToker. And there's a whole thing about TikTok going. So there's some facts for you.
What thing about TikTok is there going again?
Some TikToker named Paige McKenzie. She has a couple million followers or something. And she was born in 2002. There you go.
There we go, indeed. Okay, well, so the first, I guess, quick segment before we get to our variable verse is Ralph World, and it actually says it was written by Wellesley Wild and obviously was directed by Katie Rice. I'd never watched Westworld. Have either of you watched Westworld before?
Yes.
Nathan, you too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, so when I originally saw this, I had no idea what it was. It's always one of those shows that's on my list to watch.
The first season
was really good.
I heard, I heard the first season's great, and then it kind of peters
you could
off.
probably
The second one's okay. The third one's like, you skip it.
Yeah, I mean, really, like I would just watch the first and end it there. I don't think the second really leads itself to a view. I don't know.
Well,
the third one didn't even really hardly generate much buzz.
Exactly.
I don't think.
So I think you just skip. You just watch the first season and you're like, okay, cool. I saw a good show, and and my mind can come up with something as good as the second season. Like, yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, they did a really good job.
Yeah, well,
parodying the opening of the show, and the opening of the show, if you watch it, I never skip it. It's so cool, and the music's great. It's just really captivating.
Yeah, they did a good job with the theme song of Animaniacs, kind of changing it into something almost a little creepier, perhaps, a little bit. But it did do something that we always liked on the original show, which is fading directly into the water tower, basically, with showing Ralph's Warner Brothers logo and then going right into the water tower for the Warners to escape out of, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, I appreciated that for sure.
But yeah, I'd never seen Westworld, so I got it, but I didn't really, I guess not appreciate it as much as I should have because I've never seen the show. So, but I'm glad it matches up and it still looks cool, I suppose. Well, anyway, let's go and get to the variable verse now, which is Hungry for Famey.
Hungry for Famey.
And Dot was just, I don't know, she's on the red carpet getting pictures taken. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I don't know really what to say about that other than it was there. Yeah. But I guess let's get to our main segment. This is the biggest segment I think that we've seen Definitely of the Warners so far, because this one had a commercial break in it. It's called My Super Sour 16.
Did you have a commercial in your version?
I did not.
Okay.
Although it went black, so it went to, like where a commercial could be put in. I was expecting a commercial to start. It was like, oh no. And My Super Sour 16 was written by Kathleen Chen, Brian Polk, Jordan Vandina, and Wellesley Wild, and was directed by Katie Rice. And Nathan, why don't you tell us what happens here in My Super Sour 16?
Okay. Well, we open up on the water tower. We hear some dripping. It's late at night. Apparently, one of the faucets or something is leaking or dripping, and Dot can't go to sleep, and it's incessant leaking and dripping. And okay, so she also wakes up her brothers.
Yakko! Wacko! Oh no. You guys couldn't sleep either, huh?
By playing a trumpet, and and they're like, just go back to bed. And she's like, no. And they're like, well, we'll just put wallpaper over it. No, that, we can't just keep doing that. We're going to go complain to the landlord. So in the daytime now, we're at the landlord.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny. Like they were going to go complain to their landlord, but then it took them like 8 hours later to do that. But whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And like what Wacko and Yakko want to do is just like go to sleep. So like maybe they
did go to sleep.
Yeah, maybe like
or they went to Nora's office and just waited in the lobby until they let them up to the top floor. I'm not quite sure.
Maybe they went there, realized she wouldn't be there until the morning.
They went back.
Went back, and then we came back again.
They rented a hotel for the night. They got a good sleep there, I guess.
I don't know, but they go to see Norita. But we hear there's some argument happening in her office, and out comes this little girl, and she's complaining.
Wow, sounds like somebody beat us to it.
I guess everybody's water tower is leaking.
I don't believe this! How hard is it to find a scalding hot ice cream cake in Los Angeles? The theme of the party is fire and ice!
She walks by this billboard and of these three guys from the Stormfront or something.
Boy Storm.
Yeah. Like what are they called? So Boy Storm, and she knocks off of their heads, and she's like, make sure they sing their hits, and then she leaves, and then we find out that was Nora's daughter Cora, who's turning 16. But the band Boy Storm's not going to show up.
Now leave, or I'll have you removed.
Oh, sounds like someone needs to be convinced with a public domain song about the dangers of leaky pipes.
Don't. Wait. You can sing?
Oh, yeah! The multiplication song!
The capitals!
Yakko's Universe!
Oh, that's you guys? Maybe we can work out a deal. I promised my daughter that the boy band Boy Storm would perform at her Sweet 16, but they bailed last minute. If you were able to pose as Boy Storm, perhaps I'd consider fixing your little water tower.
Nora's like, hey, you should sing songs at my daughter's Sweet 16 party. This is going to go perfect. Nothing could possibly go wrong. You'll sing. I don't know what. This is a terrible idea. All right.
I know, like with the worst make it, like didn't even like what was Nora's thought that this was going to work somehow?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But she's you'll dress up as them, and
my daughter is so stupid.
Yeah,
that she won't realize that these
know.
Animal creatures are not Boy Storm. Like what? Anyway,
well, so we cut to the party. It seems to be going great. Cora's riding it on an elephant. Everyone's taking pictures of her. There's ice sculptures. There's fire dancer breathers and everything. There's and then the lights go out, and we spotlights on the stage, and we have the song starts, and it's called Category 5, like a storm, and the Warners are singing a song. It's all auto-tuned, and they come out, and they're all in shadows. You can't see whether it's happening. And then they they finally get, as the song's like ending, I guess, it's a short song. That's when they come into the light, and everyone notices immediately that they are, of course, not the Boy Storm. And so everyone's upset, and Cora's upset, and Nora's like, oh, you must have, blaming the Warners for kidnapping the Boy Storm.
I am shocked that you imposters crashed my precious Boo Bear's party.
But you're the one who
Is absolutely horrified to think of what you must have done with the real band. Because the only possible reason they wouldn't be here is if you kidnapped them. Or tied them up and left them in a walk-in refrigerator. Or poisoned them with poisonous poison.
Then Cora's like, oh, everything's going wrong. And then she says some sort of insult to the Warners. I don't even remember. It didn't seem that bad. But Dot gets very offended and tells her Princess Angelina Contessa Luisa Francesca Banana Fana Bobesca III, quote, and we find out Cora's full name.
We're the Warner Brothers.
And the Warner sister. Am I supposed to know what that means?
not a Hulu subscriber, I'm guessing. We'll get you a 7-day free trial with ads.
I can afford premium? Because I can afford shoes and more than one item of clothing each.
Oh, I see. You think being mean makes you interesting.
And send these 3 back where they came from. I'm guessing Dr. Seuss's garbage can.
All right, we'll see ya.
Oh, hang on. I think that's about to blow.
How dare you? You're talking to Princess Angelina Contessa Luisa Francesca Banana Fana Bobesca III.
Well, I am Queen Cora Nora Bora Bora and Gora Dora Norita IV.
The insult, by the way, was that she makes enough money to not have one piece of clothing like the Warners do.
Oh, so
which
yeah,
I thought was like, oh, it's kind of funny because they all have one piece of clothing.
They wear the same thing
Although Wacko and
piece.
Dot technically have 2 with a hat and a flower and a thing. So.
That's true.
And Yakko has a belt and pants.
So they all have 2.
They all have 2 Dora or Nora or whatever your name is.
Cora. But Cora the Explorer.
Cora. Hashtag Cora that was written
That's
outside
right.
the thing. Hashtag Cora.
But Dot is then pointing out different things at the party. It was like, do you like this cake? Do you like your photo booth? And then she's like, no, I hate all of this. This is Cora. She's destroying all her things. Eventually the elephant gets zapped by a wrangler, and the elephant starts knocking over everything. Everything catches on fire, and the whole building collapses. And that's when we find out that Cora was never going to enjoy her party.
And at the end of the night, you get to slow dance with the cutest, tallest guy in school. And that guy is Aaron Wong. But he couldn't come to my birthday because he's on vacation in Patagonia.
Oh, I see. I think we finally found the root of the problem.
Yeah, that was no baked potato bar.
Yes, there was.
There was? No!
Dot's like, oh, it's okay. And then that's when Cora's like, oh, at least I have someone that understands me. And that's Dot. So that's nice. But hey, in comes a bus, and Boy Storm is there. They're late, even though they weren't supposed to show up at all. They're here now, and they're late though, I guess, because even
though they had refused the check that Nora gave them, even though they were very adamant that we are not going to this show, they suddenly decided to come anyway.
Something happened.
They ran out of money on the tour, and they thought, let's go to this party again, I guess.
Yeah. But of course the whole party's over because the whole building collapsed. So instead they're going to help fix the leaky pipes at the water tower. And Cora's very excited because she gets to hand one of them a wrench.
We were discovered while studying plumbing at Rust Belt Technical College. Just a little tidbit for you to tell your friends.
College? I thought you were all 16.
Yeah, 16. Totally. Oh, wow, can you hand me that wrench, please?
Oh my god. I can't believe I got to hand a wrench to Leon from Boy Storm. Thanks, Dot.
Anytime. I felt the same way when we tricked Yo-Yo Ma into fixing our furnace.
And that's how it ends, I think.
Yeah.
No, they sing the righty-tighty lefty.
Yes, they sing another horrible song. That's right. We get not one, but two horrible songs for the price of one of which is sung twice. Isn't that great, folks? This is a very long segment. It's a very long cartoon. About 16 minutes for a super sour It was a super sour 16 minutes for me. It went on a very long time. Let's talk about some of the references. Boy bands. I can't really think of anything else.
So, like the song they were singing, how they were doing the different categories.
Yes.
And 1, 2, 3, it kind of reminded me of New Kids on the Block, Step by Step.
Ooh,
and
okay.
I remember step 3, it's just you and me, and I think that's what they used for category 3.
Ooh, there you go.
It's funny because category 2 and category 3 are basically the same.
Ooh, baby.
I'm so impressed you know that.
Wow, this is weird.
Step by step. I used to like New Kids on the Block. I remember when I was in 4th grade and I didn't realize that it was a girls band. I just thought it was cool. And so
it is a boys band, but it's a boys band for
that's
girls,
true. It's a girls
that's how they were
in elementary school. They call it that's a girls band. That's a girls thing. But I didn't know it at the time. I just liked Hanging Tough, and I liked all that stuff.
Because you can't get any as a little boy. You're not supposed to like the Spice Girls because that's for girls.
That's
and
for
you can't
girls.
Like the boy bands because those are for girls.
Yeah, exactly. So So I convinced my parents. I remember convincing my mom to buy me the cassette of their first album. And I listened to it and I was like, oh man, this is going to be so good. And I went to elementary school, I remember 4th grade, going there and I was like, hey guys, I got the new Kids on the Block album. And they all looked at me like, okay, loser kind of thing. And it was, it's bad when 4th graders think that of a fellow 4th grader, man.
I got made fun of in 8th grade because I still liked them and apparently they weren't cool anymore. So you can't win.
Nope, you can't. But
4th graders still make fun of me for
7th grade.
them.
It was 7th grade.
Now they're making a lot of money singing on New Kids like cruises and stuff. Or at least they were before the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, I've seen them in concert like twice since I was an adult because I wasn't allowed to go see them in concert as a kid. And so, I had to make up for that. And they're fun. They're good concerts. I'm not a big concert goer, but yeah, I go for nostalgia factors.
Well, I'd much rather watch New Kids on the Block than a Boy Storm concert. It's kind of sad because they kind of reference like all these great songs that the Warners sang, and then it doesn't even sound remotely like them even singing. Like it's just them lip syncing almost because it's, all auto-tuned and stuff. I would have appreciated it a little bit more at least if it was Rob Paulson and, Jess Harnell and stuff being pitched into, like you could tell it was still Yakko and Wacko and Dot singing those songs, because then it was just a repeat exactly sounding the same. It wasn't and it wasn't witty or anything. I was like watching this going, number one, I don't like this song. And this is if anything, this was a perfect opportunity for a parody of boy bands. Like the Warners could be singing a parody song instead. And yes, I know the whole thing was that she said they have to sing their hits, but what if the Warners sang a different song and actually the crowd actually liked that song a lot better? And, like there seems to be, I don't know. It was kind of a mess, but I don't think there's really any major references other than to boy bands and to the show, My Super Sweet 16, which was kind of popular for a while. I don't know if it's still in the air. And the other classic Animaniacs songs are brought up. And that's pretty much it. I mean, Yakko does do a few moments of Yakko's World right there, which was, I'm assuming Kelly might have liked that when he said United States, Canada.
He didn't say United States, though. He just said...
He started with Canada. It threw me off.
Yeah, it threw me off, too. And I was like, is this like... did they have to start there so they didn't have to pay Randy any money?
You know what, Ethan? Good point, though. Did they start with Canada so they didn't have to pay Randy any residuals for the actual lyrics in the correct order? I don't know. We have to ask the Warner Brothers legal department. Although I won't get in contact with them because they might say, "Hey, what kind of a podcast now?" Uh-oh.
We're just hoping they don't find out.
Okay, lay low. No, they know about us.
We've got many letters. We know they know.
Saying, you take your podcast down now. And we're like,
who are you?
Wrong number. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the things that we liked, things that we didn't like. I've talked about some of the things I didn't like about it, which was almost the entire thing. But Nathan, Kelly, what were some things that you did like about this one? Kelly, let's start with you.
Well, I thought the auto-tune song was kind of cute and funny. But maybe part of that was because it reminded me of the New Kids on the Block and Step by Step a little bit. But I don't know. It was quirky. I liked it. And I liked that Dot said her whole name. That's always fun. That
is always fun when Dot, they throw that out, which was nice, a classic thing to do.
Yep.
Nathan, what about you?
I realized Nora's name is probably Cora, right? Or is it the dad's name is Cora? Because if she's the fourth, wouldn't that make Nora the third?
Ooh, interesting. I don't know. There might have been a name change.
You can jump generations.
I guess.
Is that allowed?
I don't know. Genealogy especially gets confusing in cartoons. So
I guess you could also just name your child the fourth or something too.
That's true. Why not just do that, folks?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, why get all that lead up and everything? Just start a kid off with a legacy.
And then if she wants to name the same thing, then it would be the junior. Fourth junior.
Well, there's a bunch of popes. You can skip popes like John II and everything like that. It doesn't mean that the one before.
Started at number 4.
Yeah, just start at number 4, and then because there's been other ones. Chances are somebody's been like the same name combination as you before, so just might as well do it. Well, some of the things I didn't like. I mean, the Nathan mentioned right at the beginning the Yakko sounded weird, and I remember watching this for the first time, watching it on Twitter, on that initial live stream. And boy, you could really tell that they had Rob, and only Rob Paulson too. It really almost sounded like muffled and almost like he was like on a bad Zoom connection at some points. And, I really don't understand. I mean, I understand why they did it initially, because this was recorded during lockdown and stuff, and they had episodes to record. But was it really that hard not to do like some ADR or something like that?
It seems like at some point they could have had him record his 10 lines again or something.
Everyone else sounded perfectly fine. And it was just Yakko, just really.
But I'm guessing it would have cost money to get him back into the studio.
We have to pay Rob? No. Like, come on, guys, pay up. So that kind of bugged me, and really, honestly, just the animation of the Warners in this one looked really stiff. I don't know how else to say it, but the animation actually wasn't that good, especially when you compare it to the next segment with Pinky the Brain, where Brain is having these great, gesticulations, and you could see him thinking really a lot, and great facial expressions. And with this, they just seemed really wooden, and I wasn't impressed with the animation in this first segment that much. And I didn't like how long it was. Said it before, I'll say it again. It was way too long.
Dot did mention this right in the press conference, something about messing up a 16-year-old birthday or something.
Oh, well, there you go. It 16, happened.
So I'm guessing the other things might also happen. Maybe I can't remember the other things she said.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, and for the most part, I think we've been watching. Yeah, we haven't been jumping ahead. At least I haven't.
No.
I know most people who are listening to this show have probably watched the entire season, but we've been taking it nice and slow, week by week. So we shall see what else happens in the future. But any other thoughts for my Super Sour 16 before we move on to the next segment?
Wacko's Wish.
It was mentioned.
They mentioned it. They played the music from Wacko's Wish. So
that's cool. I missed that.
I think the Steve and Bernsteins. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a nice note right there.
A copy of the classic film Wacko's Wish.
Well, let's go ahead and get to our next segment. It's Pinky the Brain with How To Brain Takes Over the World.
Pinky's how to. Pinky's how to. See how I do. See how I do. I like to make videos. I like to make videos. I really like to make videos. See how I do.
And How To Brain Takes Over the World. It was written by James Butler and Brad DePrima, and it was directed by Katie Rice. And Kelly, why don't you tell us what happens here and How To Brain Takes Over the World?
Okay. Well, Pinky is running a vlog or whatever you want to call it. He's doing internet videos and live streaming, and has his little theme song and shows how-tos and has these little title cards, and it's adorable. And he's really getting into it, and he talks about how before Brain puts together a plan, he has to write about his feelings on the board. And Brain gets mad and says he's just doing, math. And so there's a little series of videos, and you see Pinky adjusting the camera and see different angles, and he's kind of following Brain around. And throughout the videos, Pinky keeps saying, be sure to hit or smash the subscribe button. Brain starts talking about his plan, which he's gonna win a lot of money on the lottery.
Once I claim the jackpot winnings, I will use my earnings to purchase a deep water drill to disrupt tectonic plates, causing
Meow!
Pinky, why are you laughing?
Because it's your best plan yet, Cat Brain.
You weren't even paying attention.
You said it, Brain. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. What?
And so he's trying to figure out what the components that make up the lottery balls are, but Pinky thinks it's the ball pit, and wants Brain to explain the ball pit to him. And he hits a button, and Brain's inside, and he starts bopping around.
You can't take over the world by working all the time. You also gotta have fun. Got room for one more, Brain? I want to play in the ball pit.
It's not a ball pit, you block-headed boob.
Brain, you can't say the B word. Kids watch my show. So, Brainy Brain, how does this ball pit work?
Pinky, no. No. Pinky.
Eventually, the live broadcaster is drawing the lottery numbers, and Brain has determined what the numbers are going to be and has them written down. And the broadcaster, and he's made it super hot in the studio.
You will adjust the remote that controls the thermostat in the lottery drawing studio to precisely 94.3 degrees Fahrenheit. The perfect temperature for ball manipulation.
Brain, this is Chatstagram. You can't just say anything you want.
Wait, turn on the heat a bit. Ooh, 44, 62, finally 12.
Yes! Pinky, we've done it!
Egad, way to go, Brain! And that's how you take over the world.
But then they talk about how a whole bunch of people won because they played those same exact numbers, and they each get $6.66. And the announcer, broadcaster, he's dying of the heat stroke or something, and he says it's the devil's number. And
no matter. We can reuse this plan for next week's lottery drawing.
Oh, yes. Cast out the demon!
Oh, perhaps not.
Brain wants to know, why so many people won, and he realized that Pinky's got the phone going, and he said, are you live streaming this? Or are you recording this, I think? And Pinky said, no, I'm live streaming it. And he Brain realizes that his whole plan and what he was going to do and the numbers and everything had gone out to all of Pinky's subscribers, and he had no idea Pinky had so many subscribers. And
3 million. He's very popular online.
Super popular.
Would actually be more than 3 million.
Exactly, yeah, because not every, well, unless they are all over 18, I suppose.
Well, and then also like
in that state,
every single person that subscribes isn't also going to be, buying a ticket. There's a lot of reasons. And then if multiple people are in the same household, it's like, why would we each buy the same ticket?
Which is
so yeah, it's going to be so at least 3 million.
Okay, stop doing the math. And so anyway, and then Brain says the catchphrase, and we're gonna take over the world, and everyone gets excited, and Pinky's like, he said the catchphrase. I told you he would.
And that's the end. Well, it's a pretty short Pinky the Brain segment, but it is. I wasn't quite sure if this one, and they mentioned it in the wiki notes on this one, is that the audio is a little bit off, and maybe that's also due to COVID. It was a great way to kind of cover up the weird, muffled recording sounds, is to make it sound like a YouTube video. But I've never seen a YouTube video sound that muffled before. I kind of wish that it wasn't as muffled as it was. Cultural references. Let's think it's, obviously the YouTube stuff. I think it was kind of a reference at the very beginning when Pinky's singing a song and he does a creepy kind of take. It almost is like Blair Witch at the very beginning, where he holds the camera basically up to his nose.
Yeah,
right,
I could see that.
So maybe a Blair Witch kind of thing in there, but that's pretty much it. What did you folks think about this segment? Nathan, let's start with you.
I think Brain could probably get a lot of money if he just monetized Pinky's followers. He's got over 3 million.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was watching this the first time. Is you have monetization right now on YouTube with all these followers. You have so many subscribers.
Put in an ad, and you're going to make your 20 million in no time. So, stop trying so hard, Brain.
What did you two think about the whole, I guess, innuendo with the whole ball manipulation thing and everything? I thought, personally, I didn't have really a problem with it, but did you think it crossed any lines for this one?
I thought it was fine.
Balls. Yeah.
No, it was fine.
Yeah.
And then saying boob.
Oh, I said boob. I missed that part.
He said, you can't say that. We got fun.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, that's...
But he called him that as, like a
you bumbling idiot. Boob.
Yeah, you're a boob.
Yeah. So, and that's something that also I remember hearing. I think the first time I heard the word boob used like that was probably like a Three Stooges short. So, yeah. At any rate, yeah, I thought that was funny. I thought that was fine. But, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Other than it was a little confusing how that many people got I kept rewatching the end because Brain doesn't show those winning numbers until seconds before they're actually pulled.
Mm-hmm.
And for that many people to have, I kept looking for does he show them in a segment before the numbers are drawn? Because for 3 million people to have also won with those numbers, they would have had to see them. Even if you put them
maybe
in
this is
digitally.
What happened. Maybe Pinky has one follower.
Uh-huh.
And that one follower has 3 million followers. And they did the math and put out the numbers that Brain was going to, for all their followers.
You're missing my point. The numbers were on the screen.
No, they're the equations that are up there. So if you finish the equation, you could get the 6 numbers. So maybe there's a mathematician that was watching and he's like, oh, I'll put this on my channel.
So that's what happened. A mathematician saw the equation that the Brain was doing, figured out the numbers that the Brain was going to pull, and then, wow.
And told his 3 to 5 million followers.
I think that's even a worse answer than what I was thinking of.
What were you thinking?
Just that they somehow bought lottery tickets online in this world, which I don't think you can really do in person. You have to do it in person.
The other option would be there could be a video that we didn't see because, or part of a video
and that's true. There's the deleted scene. It seems because he said in the last video, like he mentions in this cartoon, my last video got the most watches. And when you go back and look at that previous video, it was just him talking, I think, about merchandise.
Now then, just doing a quick promo to let you know all about the freshest swaggy-taggy merch you can get your paws on, like this point necklace or this flying disc.
And there's never any mentioning really about the lottery or anything.
Yeah, other than him saying, we'll live stream tonight.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
So it did happen that same day.
It was the previous one. See, it just.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be some logic, even in a stupid cartoon. At least according.
Well, I missed out on why the studio was so hot.
Oh, because
Brain did
perfect
that, right?
for ball manipulation.
Yeah. Well, he
94.7 or something.
Oh, I know one reference that I totally forgot on this one, which actually I did make me chuckle. Which was when Pinky was doing the popping of the bubbles and stepped on these the bubbles and stomped on them like the grapes video. Have you seen that one with the newscaster? The brain gets upset. He goes, that's you need to come up with references that are a little bit more up to date or whatever.
It's a lot of fun, a whole day. Stop. Oh,
Pinky, could you please parody something fresher?
And then Pinky does ASMR. Which I thought that, okay, I take it back. I did like that one segment right there. That was cute. That was cute. Because I really, no matter how many times I've seen that poor newswoman stomp on grapes and then fall down, it makes me laugh. And I hope that woman wasn't really seriously hurt.
I was trying to figure out how Brain manipulated the temperature and.
Yeah, they didn't. Well, I guess you're just supposed to film. I mean, that's the other thing too. It does depend. You are, as an audience member, asked to fill in the blanks a lot in this one, or at least ignore a lot of other things.
We don't see whenever the video is not on. We don't see those.
Everything is from Pinky's point of view about what Pinky thinks is important. So the brain is setting up some remote way to turn up the temperature in the news studio, but we don't see that. What's important is Pinky and his merchandise.
Well, that makes sense. That it's from Pinky's perspective, that sort of explains it. But, but usually they give more insight than that. But that makes sense.
Yeah, but you're right though. I wish I kind of knew. Like it just felt like a little bit. If the last segment was way too long, this one felt a little bit rushed in some of the details that were missing. It seems like if you just put one or two, like one more segment where he shows the winning numbers at some point, and I don't know. But the whole thing was that it was live streaming, and that's why it logically doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I've talked enough about it. Let's go ahead. Is there anything in the second segment that I forgot about that we should talk about? No? Okay. Well, no. Let's go ahead and get to our water tower rating. Well, out of 5 water towers, how many would you give this episode of Animaniacs? Nathan, let's start with you.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'll give it 2. I didn't think it was that funny, and I wished Yakko sounded better. I did like some of the songs. I like the Category 5 song, Fine. Like, I thought it was fine.
It was Category Fine.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad we got some new character, I guess. Cora, she's the thing. And the Pinky and the Brain episode is probably the best part of the thing episode, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, but 2. That's what I said, right?
Yes. And
okay.
Kelly, what about you?
I'll go with 2.5. I'd probably go with 3 if, like what we said, the super sour 16 was a little shorter. But because I didn't hate it. And I'd like the Category 5 song too. It certainly had some interesting moments. It did go on a little bit too long, and the daughter was extremely annoying. The first part of it, and but I thought the Pinky's videos were really cute, and then like you said, the ASMR it was funny.
Don't these bubbles sound nice?
And I thought Pinky really shone in this episode. So yeah. I mean, like usual, Pinky and the Brain was the best part for me personally, but nothing bad or horrible or anything like that.
All right. I will give it a 2 because of all those things I talked about. I mean, at least this one was attempting to give some heart. They were trying to bring heart, like, oh, see, we're not also mean. In fact, they even mentioned how meanness is not a personality type in this one. But I don't know, the whole Dot and Cora scene really kind of felt forced to me. Like, it didn't really feel like I don't have any sympathy for this annoying 16-year-old girl. And as much as I felt like in a classic Animaniacs, they might really, like, blow her up with an exploding cake or something like that. I'm kind of glad that they didn't, because that was, wasn't really the point of the cartoon, I suppose. But whatever the case, it was way too long and just wasn't as funny. 2 for me. I again, Pinky the Brain, it was relatively good, but not as good as even some of the ones we've seen before. So getting pretty low on my scale for the reboot episodes. Well, let's go ahead and get to some contact information. Nathan, where can people find you online?
Ooh, that's a good question. How about Twitter? Django FT. That's me.
All right. And Kelly, what about you?
I'm also on Twitter, Yoda Princess, YODAPRNCSS, or email me, Kelly@BigShinyRobot.com.
All right. As for the Animanicast, we're on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and a bunch of other social media outlets of some sort. And, of course, you can talk to us over on our Discord with RetroZap. That's right. We're a proud member, I should say, of the RetroZap Podcast Network. And you should go over to RetroZap.com today for great podcasts and articles, as well as the Discord, which, of course, the welcome link is discord.animanicast.com. That'll take you right on over there. You can talk about anything pop culture that you wish. And, of course, you could join our Patreon to get some exclusive Animaniacs commentaries. In fact, we have some cool Christmas ones coming up pretty soon that we'll talk a little bit more later, I'm assuming. But, head over to patreon.com/Animanicast to help support our podcast and get some cool content in the process. Well, that'll do it for today's episode. So for Nathan and Kelly, this is Joey saying good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
This podcast is not endorsed by Warner Brothers or Amblin Entertainment and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, Freakazoid, the Warner Brothers logo, all names, pictures, and sounds are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of the Animanicast unless otherwise indicated.
I'm Ralph, and you're Glue. Whatever wallpaper you stuck to me is now stuck to me, too.